Joining me now is Liberal Senator for South Australia, Alex Antic. Let's start, Alex, with the always incensed Tiffany Teals, who are still crying foul over having one advisor on staff. This is, of course, on top of their 4 electoral staff. Apparently, they're now being forced to fundraise. Oh, that'll be tricky for them, for extra staff. Alex, tell me about it.
Well, fundraising, that is a tricky business. I noticed that Dr. Ryan MP made the point that she'd have to approach some major sponsors, and it just struck me how ridiculous this is. This is the big end of town, and these people are pretending to be in there for the battlers. We always hear this from the left of politics. That and we see this in the chamber all the time, pointing across at us. Your mates in the big end of town, and I don't have any mates in the big end of town. I don't have any mates. It is what it is. But look, I think this is like a sort of like a sordid love affair that's come to the end. Labor were courting these people, needing them so badly before the election when they thought they might hold the balance of power. And now, when they didn't, Labor have just sort of chucked them over one shoulder and said, all right, well, we'll just try and punish you now. And look, I think reality is biting hard for some of these, what did you call them? Tiffany Teals.
I think that was Paul Murray's line, Tiffany Teals. Right. I love it. It's such a good line. Alex, but, you paint a picture of Dr. Monique Ryan approaching her potential investors. I hope she's wearing a mask when she does so, because that's her shtick. But also, wasn't there that bloke Holmes at court? I mean, surely he's got a few bob lying around that he could cough up for their staff. But on a more serious note, Alex, I've been talking earlier in this show to your colleague Matt Canavan. We've got serious problems with Labor rushing around trying to mandate or suggesting they'll pledge, whatever that means, us to 30% methane cuts. Where'd that come out of the blue? What's going on? How do we stop this madness?
Look, I think this has been entirely predictable for a long period of time. You only have to look at what's going on overseas to have seen this coming. We've all been talking about it. It's been happening in Holland. It's been happening in Spain. It happened in Sri Lanka. So for those that still think this is some sort of crazy conspiracy theory that the climate is being used as a way of shutting down our industry, shutting down our agriculture, this has nothing to do with the environment, Rowan. This has everything to do with harming this country and harming the West while the third world catches up. This is just another plank to it. I mean, this is the reality of what we're going to get in the next period. I don't think people realise how bad this is going to get if we don't get serious about this sort of stuff now. And, it's great hearing Professor Plimer talk about nuclear and whatever, but I think we've got to push back even harder than that. I think, we've got to now see politics muscling up to this because, we are seeing the end of the Aussie BBQ right in front of our eyes, and who would have thought it?